How Do You Raise a Raisin? By Pam Munoz Ryan. Illustrated by Craig Brown. Genre: this expository text asks questions using rhythm and rhyme. The answers tell all about raisins. What do you want to learn about raisins as you read? How do you raise a raisin? Tell me so I'll know. They're such peculiar little things. How do they sprout and grow? Do raisins grow on Earth or other planets far away? Do aliens collect them and space shuttle them our way? Raisins are dried grapes. So far, there is no proof that raisins grow on other planets. Raisins are grown on Earth, in countries like Turkey, Iran, Greece, Australia, and the United States. So who discovered raisins? Were they here when Earth began? Who was the first to nibble them, dinosaur or man? Raisins were probably discovered when someone or something tasted grapes that had dried on the vine. Over the years, people and animals figured out which grapes produced the sweetest, yummiest raisins. Do raisins grow in one place, like Raisin Creek or Raisin Hill? Is there a special town called Raisinfield or Raisinville? Raisins grow best in areas with nice dirt, many days of hot weather, a dry climate, and plenty of water. Almost all of the raisins in the United States are grown in the San Joaquin Valley of California, near towns like Chowchilla, Dinuba, Kingsburg, Selma, Weed Patch, and even Raisin City. About 90% of the raisins sold in the United States come from the area around Fresno, California. Do farmers plant some seeds from the local garden shop and wait for raisin bushes to produce a raisin crop? Farmers start a new crop of raisins by taking cuttings from an older grapevine. These pieces of stem are planted in sand until they sprout. Then they are planted in the fields next to a wooden stake. Notice how the grapevines and the sprawling branches grow. Does a grapevine tamer train them into picture-perfect rows? Grapevines are grown about 8 feet apart. Field workers hand-tie the sturdy branches, or canes, to rows of wire. There are usually 2 sets of wire, a top set that is about 6 feet high, and a second wire that is 3 or 4 feet high. How long do raisins take to grow? A week, a month, or a year? How many hours must you wait for a raisin to appear? It takes at least 3 years until the vines are old enough for the first crop of raisins. That's 26,280 hours. When grapes are ripe and ready, how do farmers get them down? Do they rent a burly giant to shake them to the ground? When grapes are ready, skilled grape pickers snag the grape clusters from the vines using a sharp vine cutter. Most grapes are turned into raisins the same way they've been for thousands of years. They are left to dry naturally in the sun. What do raisins lie on while they're basking in the sun? Do they rest on little beach towels until they're dried and done? The grape clusters are laid on brown paper trays on the ground between the grapevine rows. This is called laying the grapes down. The sun rises in the east and sets in the west. Most raisin growers plant their vineyards in east to west rows. This way, grapes drying between the rows receive the most sun. If they were drying in north to south rows, the grapes would be in the shade part of the day, and when it comes to raising raisins, the more sun the better. How long do clusters lie around to sweeten, dry, and bake? How many weeks in the valley heat does raisin making take? Raisins bake in the sun for about 2 to 3 weeks. Then, The paper trays are rolled into bundles that look like burritos and are left in the field for a few more days to make sure that all the raisins are as dry. Raisins do not look like grapes. They're withered up and wrinkled. Are they soaked inside a bathtub until their skin is crinkled? As grapes bake in the hot sun, their water evaporates. The more water they lose, the more the grapes shrivel, causing wrinkles. How many grapes must a farmer dry upon the valley ground to make a box of raisins that weighs about 1 pound? It takes about 4 1/2 pounds of fresh grapes to make 1 pound of raisins. How do the raisins get from fields to the raisin factory door? Does a vacuum cleaner suck them up from the dusty valley floor? Farm workers toss the raisin bundles into a wooden trailer. The raisins are sent across a shaker that gets rid of the dirt and rocks. Then, raisins are taken to the factory and stored in big boxes called bins until they are ready to be packaged. Who puts raisins in the boxes that keep them sweet and dried? Do tiny fairy princesses stuff each one inside? When they're needed, raisin bins are brought into the factory for packaging. It takes only 10 minutes from bin to package. Workers and machines take off the stems and capstems, sort, and wash the raisins. Then the raisins are packaged in a variety of boxes and bags. Over the years, raising raisins flourished, but raisin seeds were a problem. When seeds were removed, the raisins became a sticky, clumpy mess. Bakers and people who liked to eat raisins found this troublesome. They hoped for a seedless grape that would produce a yummy raisin. In 1876, William Thompson introduced the Lady de Coverley grape to California. The green grapes were seedless, with thin skins, and produced a sweet and flavorful raisin. These grapes changed the raisin-producing industry forever and are still known today as Thompson seedless grapes. Today, 95% of the California raisin crop is Thompson seedless grapes. What's so great about raisins anyway? They're nutritious. Raisins are rich in iron, calcium, potassium, and B vitamins and provide a good source of fiber. They make other foods taste better. Raisins have tartaric acid, a flavor enhancer. Raisin juice and raisin paste are used in a variety of sauces such as pasta, barbecue, and steak sauces to boost their flavor. Raisin paste is sometimes used as filler in meatballs and meat pies to provide more servings. Raisins have a rich, natural color. Raisin juice is often added to frozen dairy desserts and baked goods as a color enhancer or food coloring. Ground raisins can be used instead of fat in fat-free baked goods like fat-free muffins, cookies, and brownies. Raisin paste and raisin juice concentrate are mold inhibitors that prevent food from spoiling as easily. Bakers often use raisin products instead of artificial preservatives. Raisins extend the shelf life of bakery goods by several days over products without raisin products. Follow these steps. Ants on a log. Spread celery pieces with peanut butter, cream cheese, or cheese spread. Top with raisins. Rats on a raft. Spread cream cheese on graham crackers. Dot raisins on top. Super balls. 1 cup honey. 1½ cups powdered milk. 1 cup peanut butter. 1½ cups graham cracker crumbs. 1 cup raisins. 3/4 of a cup crushed cornflakes or dried coconut. Put crushed cornflakes or coconut in a dish. In a mixing bowl, mix all other ingredients. Shape into balls. Roll balls in crushed cornflakes or coconut.